I identify as he, they.
He, they. So non-binary. What does that mean? Like, walk us through.
So I think there's a lot of ways that you can define it. For a lot of people, it just is like the observance that, gender is not exactly like female or masculine or, there's a line that you can be on. For me, it's just that I don't perform my gender in exactly the complete masculine way. Yep. So kind of like you talking about earlier, how somebody can be right here. I kind of sit right here. Not really completely masculine, completely male, but not towards they, them, or she, they.
So your gender is really fluid. You can kind of go back and forth, but mostly you're down here. Yeah, it's like me. Like I would wear, by the way, I would wear pink. I don't know if did I show that photo of me when I was a little kid? I had pink, jumper. I can wear pink. I can wear whatever. I do all sorts of whatever, Okay, but are you straight or are you, so let's go down these. So what's your sexual orientation?
I'm gay.
So you are gay.
Mm-hmm.
Gay, gender, not bi at all? Are you like straight up gay?
No, I'm like full gay.
Full gay, all right. So, but in gender-wise, you're really fluid, right? And in terms of biological sex.
Man, I'm born male.
Man. And so when you say non-binary, you're not really at the level of sex. You're really at the level, much more gender for you. Okay, so you don't see yourself, in terms of your biology, you're comfortable in your body, you're going to have this body, it's going to be where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Cole. I identify as he, him. I am gay, and I just kind of express myself in any way that I want to on any given day. But
there's one thing that's different between you and Gabe. Mm-hmm. Like you do drag.
I dabble in the arts of being a drag queen.
Yeah. So what's that mean for those who don't?
So for me, I see it as a form of entertainment where it's the art of female impersonation. You put on full face of makeup, you dress in feminine-esque clothes, but it's like this hyper feminine embodiment that you're trying to create. It's like an alternate identity or an alternate persona. But it's not truly like myself. Like I don't aspire to be my drag persona.
What's your drag name?
That's been a work in progress. Currently, I've been thinking of midwife crisis.
Midwife crisis. Dude, have you performed? I mean, do you perform locally? Have you?
I've been trying to. I was going to be in the campus group Opulence this semester, but Organic Chem Lab kind of interfered with that, unfortunately. But next semester I definitely will be.
So when you say how Lexi is dressed right here, that would never fly for a drag queen.
That's not drag.
Yeah. Okay, all right, I got you. So wait, so being drag, so bro, no, I'm asking. So you're not. Have you ever thought about doing drag?
I thought about it, but I wouldn't be good at it.
You wouldn't be good?
Yeah.
Dude.
Should have seen me when I first tried.
That's tea.
Okay, so what's the difference between the two of you, though? Like what? So you're a guy, right? I mean, sexually, biologically, both of you are men. But you have moments when you kind of step out of your male status. You still say he, she. You don't. You say them, they. You still say he, right? He, him. But yet you're stepping out, sociologically engaging in this sociological experience of doing drag, and yet you're very much here. Like you haven't moved at all along this continuum.
I guess my pronouns are like she, they, and
she, they.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to come back. What? Okay, well, hang on, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't remember this. What do I identify as? Maybe?
Yeah, so going down here, are you straight?
I'd say bi or / pan. Like they're kind of the same to me. So
bi and pan. Bi or
I know
pan.
they're not the same, but
no. Explain pan to those of us who don't know.
Pan, I could do. Okay, so bisexuality is you're attracted to your gender.
Yep.
And any other gender. Okay, whereas pan, I believe, is you don't see gender, or like you don't really. Doesn't really affect you. Like
so you could be really attracted to drag queens, for example, right? Because here's this guy Cole who's gender bending, right? And he's like going, yeah, I'm going to step out as a queen. And you could be like, as someone who's pansexual, you could be like, yeah, man, that really kind of turns me, I'm really
At
into
first
drag
glance,
queens.
maybe.
Like whatever it is.
Yeah, but so that's where I think pan kind of differentiates it in the sense where it's like, that doesn't really matter at first glance. Doesn't
Got
matter. It's
you.
more of like if I like you, I like you.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So this goes kind of what Sophia was saying in
Yeah.
a way, right? There's a way in which pan is this way. Because listen, so here's the thing. Maybe any of you can add anything onto this. The thing is, you all, right? Let's say I'm gonna transition. So Juan and I are twin sons of different mothers. We're both men. We both have all of the male equipment. It's all good, right? We're good? And I decide, hey, I'm going to start to transition. And then things start to happen. And let's say that I start dressing so like you, bro, I start, just trying out some, not drag is when it's really extreme, right? Do you ever do like partial drag just for the fun of it? Yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah, you're right, dude. Oh, damn. All right, we got to get a shot of that here really fast. All right, so look, yeah, your fingernails, right? Yeah. Okay. Can you get a shot of his fingernails? So what's the fingernail? Like, do you ever do your fingernails, bro?
Yeah, normally during the summers and stuff.
Yeah. What's that? So walk me through this partial drag.
I just like the colors. I like the way I look when I dress like this. When I wear just like plain pants and a t-shirt and nothing else, I just feel like naked. I don't know. I just feel like I want to add more to it to just express myself more.
Mm-hmm. And when you do your nails, similar thing?
Yeah, generally. Just adds a little flair.
Adds flair. Yeah. Yep. And same with makeup and stuff?
Yeah, sometimes I'll wear makeup like on a daily basis if I'm feeling it, but I don't have to every day. It's just whenever.
Yep. Okay. So, I got you, man. It's just like me. I wake up and I decide to wear one thing or another. Virginia, let me ask this question. So, what kind of men are you attracted to?
Again, I don't know.
Have you had enough time to really?
No, like trial and error.
How about women? Like just in your mind, what do you see yourself?
I think the reason I'm struggling to answer the question is because I never go out looking for like a certain person.
Yep.
So it's like I haven't really thought, like they all kind of need to have like the same requirements. Like I can't separate the two, like for like what am I looking for in a man and what am I looking for in a woman, because I believe like I'm looking for the same thing.
So for you, so if we go like to what Sophia said, there's
Yeah.
also like a part of a personality. And the reason I'm asking this
Yeah.
is because, listen, there's the what we identify as, so we have woman, we have maybe a little more feminine. Like you would be classically gender identity more feminine, right? You know this the way you are, right? And you, bro, are definitely, compared to Cole here, you're definitely more masculine, okay? So the reason I'm asking is like, well, but as someone who would identify as pansexual, you got this whole continuum right here, right? And it, like for women, you might be attracted, the women I'm attracted to are more kind of butchy or something. They're more like, I like more masculine women, or I really like more feminine women. Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? This is where this stuff gets so incredibly complex. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to ask one more. I'm going to say one more thing. Because, for example, this is what I was going to say earlier. If I start transitioning as a guy, and I start moving along, and I start doing hormone therapy, and, so I'm losing the hair on my body. I'm now starting to dress in a more, what we would identify as more female ways. And like, I'm just starting to move along. Who am I going to be attracted to? And if I'm here in the middle, right? I'm neither now, I'm a they, them. I'm not fully a guy anymore because I'm taking hormones. I'm shaving my body. I'm starting to dress a little bit more like women dress, but I don't effing know how women dress anymore because the two of you are dressed, you're dressed the same as him and you're dressed the same as him. So I don't even know what that is, but let me say I play with it, right? And then at what point in time if I'm attracted, I was a guy, I'm now a they, them, And if I'm attracted to women, does that make me gay? Or if I'm attracted to guys, am I straight? Like, who am I? I'm transitioning. So you see what I mean? I'm going to have to be with somebody. So who am I going to be with? Right? So that's why I'm asking that question. Do you have any more thoughts? Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Like, who do you tend to be attracted to?
All right, so this is a little shady, but my roommate always says I'm attracted to myself. So, like, every time I'll be like, oh, look at this guy, she'll be like, wow, he looks like you. And so...
Dude, at least you could have a very active sex life.
Yes, treat.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You're never
generally,
disappointed.
More masculine presenting people is who I'm more attracted to.
More masculine presenting. Bro, how about you?
I'm kind of the same situation of people say that I kind of date myself. Sometimes more masculine, but I also love it when like guys don't get held back by the binaries of society and they just do whatever they want.
Have you ever dated another drag queen?
No, I haven't had many encounters with any other drag queens. I come from a very small town.
Oh, right, okay. But if you did, and the two drag queens went on a date, would you then, well, how would that be? That's kind of wild. That would be pretty cool, right?
To like go out on a date in drag?
Yeah, with another queen.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, dude, it would be awesome, man. You want to add anything too?
Yeah, I'm like attracted like to like I guess like I don't care though if they're like feminine or masculine, I guess. Like for me. But like they don't have to be women, like that's the only like criteria, I guess. They can be women. That's the only point, I guess. And also I think like I guess gender like could be like a construct because you don't know what's feminine and masculine.
Yeah.
You can't be sure, I think.
We don't even know what is feminine and masculine anymore. But one of the arguments, so I want to see if you all can weigh in, if any of you can weigh in on this. So one of the arguments right now, one of the things we're struggling with is that increasingly, as people identify as non-binary like you, right? And do you say non-binary or do you just say pansexual?
Non-binary. Those are two different things.
Yeah, I know.
So,
right, exactly. Okay. So the more you say that, the more and more people who are starting to say, I'm in this world of gender conformity. I don't want to do the conformity thing. I want to be in gender non-conformity. So I don't want to be, you're comfortable being a woman. Like you're just fine. You're being feminine, being a woman, whatever. You're comfortable with that, right? Okay. So, but increasingly, especially little kids who are all looking for some kind of identity, are saying like, I don't want to really identify one way or another, and they say I'm non-binary. But what does that mean, right? What's it mean? Are we just talking gender? If we're just talking gender, then we're all non-binary, basically, because there's like men. So if we go, all we got to do is go back in time a little bit. Every man in here does some jobs or does some things that were traditionally women's work. And every woman in here wears slacks at some point in your life, and we can go back in time. So there's just a way in which it's like there's always a fluid thing. But when we're talking about all of this non-binary stuff, and everybody's like their signatures and stuff, it's like he, they, or they, them, or he, she, or we, us, or fuck, whatever it is, like however you do it, it's like, what happens is, it's like everyone's sort of in on this, but what are we really talking about? Because the major one is biology, right? Do you have something?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is you have to differentiate the difference between gender identity and gender performance.
Okay.
And so like...
Can you differentiate
Yeah,
that?
so like, for example today, when we're talking about gender identity, he identifies as he, him, I identify as he, they. That's gender identity. That is how we perceive ourselves. But if you were to ask this entire room, who is more likely, like just looking at us, who's going to be the he, they, and who's going to be the he, him? Most likely people would say that I would be the he, him just because I'm dressing stereotypically masculine. I got those wide shoulders. Like I just am perceivable as a guy. And so I think it's one of those things where, it's all dependent on who you're talking to and questioning how you perceive those people.
Yep.
So like, I will always be perceived as a guy. That's just, I present very masculine and I'm okay with that because I go by he, they. But when he's doing drag, a lot of drag queens will go by she because they are performing as a woman during that time and then they come back. So I think it's not necessarily, where's the line, at what point do you officially become a they, them, or a she? It's how do people perceive that person?
How do they perceive? And then how do we present, like what we want to say? And by the way, if people mess it up and say he, him for you, like, you're cool with that, right? Like,
oh yeah, most people don't even know that I go by he, they because it's still he. So
yeah, like people have this idea, like they don't want to like insult people, right? And so it's like, dude, just don't get over that. Don't worry about it, right? But, it would be a problem if you got pissed because people were assuming you were a he, him. But, like, you can't get pissed because we don't know if you don't tell us, right?
Yeah.
Virginia, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say that his experiences are very, like, almost exactly like mine. It's like, that's why I say she, they, because I know that I'll always be perceived as a black woman. It's like, no matter what I do, even as much, it's kind of inescapable. So that's kind of like why it's like she, they, the they is more for me.
It's more for you.
Yeah.
To just really sort of put yourself out there in this way. Yeah. And Cole, for you, as someone who you have a drag persona. And can you explain how complex it is to have a drag persona? Like, it's a big deal to step into that persona. You got to be that.
I mean, it takes a lot of work to put together, but it's all about it's kind of like you're turning into a separate person that you can go out and just act as something that you normally aren't are and have society perceive you as something. And it just like unlocks this whole world of things that you wouldn't normally be acceptable to do. But here's where the social justice warrior in me wants to say that we just like bash the system, cis spelled CIS, and just do whatever the fuck you want. Like no one cares.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But then but at the same time, understand the complexities of it, right? But by the way, I understand why you would use he, him, because you can't mess up the drag. Like when you step into persona, like you're a different person when you're in drag. So you can't be like, oh, I'm he, she, whatever. It's like, no, I'm he, him. But when I step into drag, I'm her, she.
I mean, that's also, drag is a very fluid art too. Like a lot of drag queens can go by, like, there are drag kings, there are drag queens. There can also be like, kind of like a non-binary equivalent of drag where you just like perform. It's all about just extravagance and camp, exactly.
It's campy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
The thing, it says, for sex, it says men and women. And I feel like you should change that to male and female because men and women, that's an experience of social, like how you're perceived. So for you to put it in biology, I don't think that's correct.
Well, it's only because I did the biology piece because that's the thing that we really also struggle with, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's like there is like what our bodies are.
Yeah, male and female.
Male. Yeah, but increasingly what I'm finding is people are saying man, woman. Like, so I used to say male, female, but everyone seems to say man, woman. And so I'm just like.
I was just going to say as well to the sex part. Yes, obviously man and woman is the normal, but there are people that are born biologically with both female reproductive and male reproductive parts and with neither. So there's intersex people as well biologically.
Yeah, intersex people as well who have body parts of both man and woman. Yeah.